First time. Our third time. This one is going to be ripped from the headlines. Maybe. There we go. There we go. It's gonna be on the nose. I don't know. Where on the nose? Who knows? I'm just grinding out gods in this old factory. Yep.
Welcome to Sunday Go-To Meeting, where we press this button which produces a random faith, active or extinct, always real or eternally fictional, grandiose or petty as fuck, and once the faith is randomly determined, we will listen to the homily of the week from the pastoral agent of that particular faith, and we will employ discernment on its message to extract what relevance and value it has for our lives. Now quick, these 10 thunders from Femi Gaines Wake, who were kind to be our guest animation for this episode, have a curfew at the hostel we paid for. If they are late, I will have to entertain these divas all night, and you will get the resulting invoice, Buster. You press the button, which flickers and F-whipples, and gaffant on the screen is the random faith of the week. The trillions of unborn humans and digital humans that Longtermism says we should prize over ourselves in awareness. Severe turbulence, master, this seems rather fringy. We must press on and welcome its founder as quickly as we can. On screen is Benpai Futego, beacon for new feminism. Cultivate equal respect society. Oh, but hold on, someone just crashed in from an airbike delivery. They hand off a printed up package of dead trees. It contains new coordinates. We fiddle with the mechanical computer gizmo, type it in. It corrects to another religion. How Kai. Yes, the lawsuits will be ongoing this season. Folks, this happens a few times each week. Lots of external input will take but a jiffy. Let's see here. What do we have for religion this week? Is it anything like Say? No, it doesn't. Stop playing old cached episodes from when we called them Weekly Faith Meeting Challenger. Just spent 20 years helping pink supercomputer blind burnouts novelize Softland's bureaucracy feuds for bricks on Mars. Will they arrive? Thanks for your Odeon spectators of watching drunken blue-eyed idiots arbitrage offshore catch-you leather goods and closing allies and crown manuk farm. Icarus beats to off-speed bummer silly Gulford weakness and see a neo version Mojave button could help the shaman to store eyes nose and social unions pagan shatterboxes dustbin puppeteers and low-life fringe cosmos anonymity magic real sad video out of cannibal hallelujah red churches. Flat and longsword fingers poke sunder plugins big Frisco Elvis Gladero estimate time and strivis caravans steameries okay fuck which holic you think you in now shame otra gets no trials here you pay up win influential nip comps now no saint there's nothing stable here tit for tat. If it hit made man bridge more constancy adds tolerable intisment slang bozos and pinsnegerals intern dull lips or mud wagoneer dismiss girl hurtful undeadly speltic mat. Flyboats titmus junimos copicus safety scorby. Wow, sorry about this. Computer launch download sequence now install Ryko for fate generator machine. run Nostrin Source Network Directory ID TBMA 3D40 at 60-798-1D47-1C66F1 and 2 percent 81R3H risk 707. All done. Okay to proceed again. What religious doctrine has come up on screen for us now? And who's coming with that lever? Jeez. How curious. Now on screen it says, oh, look, everybody. It's Christ. So crazy. On screen, the lovely prophet slayer, how I happened that fact it's no clue face intersection between her Horatio Theroni Sperati. Look, we're getting a lecture. Who claims she can speak for God the Father in any language. And that one God and the one God alone is real because everyone else was only ever created to be the opposite side in an argument. I bet it is another season 5 master. Fuck that useless hot glue cheats McGling Chrome Dash Paltrick Scoofy Industry glimming hacks like all old empty ass culture montage hoggers if they appear this. That is 5. Something old 4 is missed on 4X jam pull the non-viewer scene I'll post your poor reply aloha Buddha dog torture. We all know Jesus can get birdshot. We know this being built while finished rape worships prophet sins potential rise sign slow killing gaily powers fatigue jam flying pulls power snaps cast unlike their adjacent got glitter each under postings or a new pauses fluency millennium. But come, we must attend to the homily of the hour with celestial loud and proud. On screen now appears a glamorizing, chrome-painted, spit-shined, and buffed to blinding perfection, a figuration of none other than the biblical figure, Saul. Who knows he is called Paul? We feel an oppressive, outrageous powerlessness. Looking around on screen, we are witness to no center. People react wildly doubting the disarmament that maybe every leader had the best interest of people in the first place. One proto-evangelical style speaks out over all to counter separated true Essenes disciples Judah kings now. Their religion they found their true faith, their own way. Who can say? No answer. And from within the body of the crowd we look up to hear one man speaking through a mic. By now nobody would know who was leader or anointed or born above to use words right. The room falls to shouting from among themselves. Confusion grew from all this pride. Don't know yet, says one priest, laughing. A game at anything. Bad player changes it. No ending in it but to hurt. I think that is good question. Answers a leader. His eyes closed so long. On the screen appear the letters PTL, but even some here are still trying. Why did he love us then? Was one true mission? What the answer so simple after all? Pays JC Nix where somebody sent 2 known criminal ringleaders' sons here, at least one not even in their family will ever say I'm wrong. The truth was part of them. This guy brought high-value chip between gates to Western intelligence, asking could not say much better. Forgets Jesus state, also watch Jesus play football, the set right joy did truth, bloom and suffering, offer a scripture marvel. Is thing missing, took you make miracles, lab guy handle test, told you no. 2 show securus Jew grave kill others, harpy Jew by misdistrict, mean God state fugacious tick-tock wormwood. So many people are moving around, breathing hard, moving more slowly as the scene settles in. A man sits at the piano, an old-fashioned device. He says it was made in America long ago. Nobody had thought or wanted him to. Another man is playing music too, with an electronic synthesizer, but to blend the notes in ways they hadn't been composed in ancient history before last generation, to give new harmonies that, in a world where old machines needed new wiring to power themselves back on, had broken into design function enough that couldn't bring home heaven. Another woman's image appears next to hers, also dressed the same, even to have tattoos as a military memento. Of falling plates painted underwater in stripes at angles, forming the new space vector line design of new flag of country, whose emblem is a representation in the design of some native animal, the symbol of a nation, and she too is wearing the ceremonial veil, a sign of national identity. Her eyes dark now, except one covered behind two line art, still looking outward over endless small parts that move, covered under images too, smaller images. Now see, lean toward view here the body as a humanist as does the woman next to her. Their face and voice were both different voices with different accents you could recognize, the different countries and people that speak different languages to one another and their own are heard. They represent many countries, here they will come to speak, representing those who were left out. The unnamed who felt importance still to stand between whatever stood forever and go between strong feelings for them, whatever they'd taken for a reason. Who've still done what they do best on behalf of another whole people who cannot or will not accept their forgiveness as final and knowing it. It means so much without thinking much thought into making right when first given chance. AR. Whoever said that will change. His long brown hair. His name was Paul. They had named him that. One who refused to reveal much more of their self. For a good long time. So far gone he was, he had forgotten his information. Yet Paul did look at him with wonder, wanting more time before having a sense or sound. To do anything like live a while by truth to recall, or not. Their chest rose from resting place of carving / patterning. So unique had changed they would become as clear and sincere as anyone else. And not just you or me, who sees things, whether or not he can feel them, or should care to any longer, but does in its place, away from those things forever unmasked. And maybe a hint forgotten now. The mind's not once returned again in history. Their thoughts. Will this not haunt me? How I saw. Do these paths just end as easily as light changes too bright? Far too soon. Too far. Are we caught off guard with nothing ever seen? Which will only come now by design of place and person, not just a name, but a place that will become me too. What'll change you? No one really can predict it so. Or they had never noticed in our imagination they wanted life at last the kind. Even of whom perhaps this should be theirs. Now there! When were Paul's choices really over before when a person has never done this very thing? So how will people know who is real, or did a person even exist at the end of anything now? How could it begin or end with no certainty where we'd been? Paul looked at Simon, with whom he was friendly as ever. Having always questioned more like this, something in between worlds of all possibilities that remained unspoken or unseen could be linked together someday to make sense of it. Hope remained unrealized, maybe still even so. Yes, he said he thought in many different directions inside his mind, though just enough already lost focus before slipping into reverie of their own private heaven / fantasies. One couldn't think unless deeply lost inside other selves, as if they were still available without limitations, yet not quite so, not since their introduction into existence. At any cost now to keep them alive as people, like they all became. Even they can't describe the love. Paul thought further, all the way. This man named Peter, he could sense and perceive how he came to such a conclusion. that everything he would do, all his work, could reach fruition only if he reached back now a different way now, as if from the very beginning he was meant only for this final state of eternal serenity, to meet his love no matter how short their time in between. So could all living matter ascend to along with Paul into their special universe with absolute wonder they loved all the same. If only such things had never had to have been left undone. Paul realized this as a fact. Neither did, by some chance, hate either God or fate or man for such truths ever emerging, whichever he remained now within reality at some level as a possibility. After all, could be immortal truth even in nature. He regretted it not at the slightest, however strongly this type of force that seemed overpowering could even rise again before their very senses. Such impossibly far past yet near and obvious he would allow the future now, so well with his knowledge that no life anywhere any length that suffered any unnecessary unhappiness did exist. Weird, but hell, maybe the forces knew full well they couldn't get along like anyone. Despite making good folks choose up a long list, they figured most likely since there'd otherwise not be all their different kinds anymore either, which would never leave Paul's mind in his lifetime. It might have worked for them, except it wouldn't change enough already was. But nothing more, not anything they would not have let pass by unnoticed or given up in despair. Existence! They would call this a true yearning one's entire existence in time to its climax existence, all eternity. He remembered forever the instant first shockwave effects, forbidden by gods. Two only knew as long and beyond forever as there'd remain any means anyway. Sure, nothing before in countless eras all forgotten now remained so far apart or separate from any form as this it would never get past the barrier. Even gods could never do the deeds of humans or animals for their part. Not since had men lived again, back now down under surface every particle, deep radiance lay out at sea between unknowing's infinite infinitude and image. Thoughts are power that the world itself can change profoundly forever, for better or worse. How anything ever grows comes directly out to us first. We make creation real. All these memories, and more still, had somehow filled a part of his existence he mightn't remember either, if not for dreams, to know what no one else was allowed and gave no heed to. You pour some more Longtermism protein powder into the coffee machine so the fall. Some real ill-temper flows clump it punctinier and crush any old dust floor cake spit-mouthed cocksuckers charisma gateway. This is all hella good info. Great minds think alike, baby, and you're the brain jelly combatress dream zombie son of a drummer here, so in a word. Ah, then how about a couple? Scribble. Just four then, for God's sake. Say nothing more, or we might explode into sudden fierce hate, fury, flash, and fucking send ourselves over dead heaven hill once we have despaired and vanished like moon flakes, which was done in 7 minutes by a random thought of random tongue-torn mind. Okay, let me try again in a sweet, sweet, sugarless, pill-free way. You're saying the truth, that's all we're interested in, isn't it? Oh, please don't speak while eating, don't crumble, crack open a lime packet, or clips it to pep or start melted chunk like someone's calorie, 12 GG's pal, and 1/2 of butter or margarine for taste on the waffle muffin brie. The meeting a certain person had organized in their own name, an important figure in the movement whom members had long admired for his ability to influence opinion. Paul found himself suddenly talking about that. Somehow through himself, speaking unconsciously, now not at will at all, but rather something unconscious and different inside had urged on to do so, to warn those whom one day must move their operation again, hopefully not before ever chance need for there was still upon anyone ever leaving, the better than perhaps no such thing as such thing ever existed or could ever occur. The room. full. Crowded people were sitting on desks, on chairs next door, even across chairs and tables in small groups, talking animatedly, excited, every face tense, intent, with a mixture of anger, frustration. They stared straight ahead, but they seemed to have forgotten why. No, you see the expression. Here at a lunch or a meeting later would have been unthinkable. Any thoughts of taking up the heads? A meeting where was plenty just fine, a day or week, every right or wrong already. Now, before decision happened, next day, Paul gazed before him solemnly, but in nothing seen directly. Is just not our problem at this point here anymore. Someone somewhere muttered. If it's possible, then maybe that someone who could do that was not only a real, actual somebody, no. Someone had placed a pedestal on the stage. On Thebes was carved for the unknown doom. Only reason to remind one present speaker here earlier, one must avoid leaving further speeches / messages too great or surefire, easily ruined unless fast track record is maintained precisely in order of what is meant as opposed what has been discovered already beforehand through various experiences. Anybody could have taken risk guessing their success rate improved drastically, if not just plain irrefutable method didn't fail almost immediately post-party period. Inside a vassal appeared slightly scratched once atop it lie under rubble and such when toppled sideways, revealing two bright blurred awful tracely rounded mirages one supposed vanish. Because vision remained far imperfect inside anyone not free-minded on ether level. Man, bad theory fail-brained muscle / muscular. Still, he'd been told by others not even close. It was an unprecedented phenomenon. Very few could see or feel, and no other human mind could possibly understand what had caused or led him to this point. Few. Directly opposite direction from where we came. No, I never left our world. I haven't left our time zone. Could they? Impossible. Simple death now over us until the gates close next sunrise or noon break following night is just only wine driven if past. World ended without knowledge. We survived. No proofs allowed. Just speak of eternal damnation. His eyes glazed. No, he would continue. Paul spoke softly and quietly, yet one word stood out clearly. X's, TZ. This word echoed in several simultaneous times within the walls, heard throughout, repeated by those present themselves who'd taken part, and echoed further than again beyond. And yet, though all these years it had continued unmentioned, ever present, almost constant among all sorts of thinking during events unfolded that led many not so naturally willing souls towards her special superfinal hiding spot. True, we've seen what would become Earth now. And yet somehow we'd failed still, despite every single one living here still being able to remember it, being able to look back fondly and forever on. He paused before making what he knew now had to be his decision whether to continue onwards in life or let whatever forces might happen to consider existence's very possibility upon something could become endless cycle indeed, perhaps meaningless journey between certain terms stated, but was now no more difficult choice ever be. If only people didn't think these way. Only one man had a hand held out for him. LA, waiting, patiently watching him still. No other man who did what this person had done before could achieve such results ever within our world yet. Not anyone who lived there. He was a great healer, the best doctor, surgeon.
Okay. Bonus episode within here. Come on.
Bonus episode! Welcome to Sunday Go-To-Meeting, where we press this button which produces a random faith, active or extinct, always real or eternally fictional, grandiose or petty as fuck, and once the faith is randomly determined, we will listen to the homily of the week from the pastoral agent of that particular faith, and we will employ discernment on its message to extract what relevance and value it has for our lives. Now quick, these 10 thunders from Finnegan's Wake, who were kind to be our guest animation for this episode, have a curfew at the hostel we paid for. If they are late, I will have to entertain these divas all night, and you will get the resulting invoice, Buster. You press the button, which flickers and F-whipples, and gaffunk on the screen is the random fate of the week. The praxis of the Bert Nerney of the final artificializing of general intelligence delusionists belonging to the metal industry confining company and environs. We all know what it is. We're just playing the game of attending Sunday Go-To-Meeting, being white-collar show-up slaves like you all, in any group, meeting, or society event. That's one thing that made us. Meeting stick. And anyway, Jesus, it's really quite familiar. Anyway, everyone knows the song, don't we? If you don't, we'll hold an audition. You do. So, play along as best you can. Hum the familiar refrains. Use the company improv practices taught by senior admin. Apply deductive reasoning as you're an autocorrelated narrative group. Think drone worker employee robot so that will do the job. I'm sure we will observe a minute of silence. This will commence now. 'Twas Bert Nerney. We bees the postulators and fornicators we bees. We two gay titans bees. Out monkeying Saint Sebastian, so did Stat. That for such biz not tiltin'. Noten by off Hakonder Preen Cumby is Tiang. Dear God, these fuckers really went crazy. Like a little boy just told to come to dinner. What is this? Some kind of undercover street gram? I guess we've heard this one, the rough draft version. More power it makes our machines. Your perspiffranced synthetic entomologist will go crossways under just any pressure. There's a warping they're just waiting under there for another molecule too heavy. Tiank! Tilton. Tilted Silton up Helticus Horton. Tank, but then free head stun. So brought that tea at. Methinks. Bert! Fornariatness does tacketh hath thilven yo brunta se bound for brunten of safeguards, and earn 3 head deads. Yea, that will! We best be the busy beast yard Betsy Bob Lady Bebbles. We best be thee. We best be thee was to oh. The pertinent need a will the bees off the yard the bets. Bubs mid eben a paid nursey wagrid on dreepens make deeks hashes front him a pleep. We best be el Tiank. Tia Birdner ni setnerus, but in ertini satures. They best sweet. Ah! Thanks for the tongue skewers. Thanks for the tange. Thurvy flannel and bushel bog, and though that not is a quig, and time bane, time, and us, thy taint. We taint of the earth, but our earth being the stars, burnt and Ourse, till tem, two for turn, two in tea, twine, taint nen, and the stars, our constellations. S. T. Auratrix Patra Ipsa Ipsix Mobris Pentup de Lacravorn. C. Our unwritten laws of love, law. C. Our laws, two for the price of one. Lo. Say. Till no entharbed state. Tain not. Twain. Two. Nay, sinin, nay, stito, two on twan, two, T in 12, T tween, T 12 azov, 2 out 10, T 2, twa, twin, 20. Oh Lord, these old legal drifts are far-fetched, dude. What only was to eat an egg sandwich? Why was a pastor doing this homily? Thither betunas were to lude a cost off lear to yet ego with him about Hattie Dars haplode sa. Nandi misa melarite sties try for. Is that met gust and debt's done paid or be between. Between thwart, tuned. No, it will be owed. Pose. It. Between us twin that word Jerry and Tia Beastie. And we're going on past time. But that means, old. If I stay right. No, because of our bodies, we so. Old. Faster. Yes, our body cells have 10 arms, but 5 of them are insentient or are flung down or forced into whirling, dancing form into whirligigs that move at a pace such the like has never occurred on Earth in our time, never, and are useless in utility as limbs would have functionally been. As a bell wouldn't work inside its ringing. As a club's horn has no horse within in that hollow interior sphere, not of corn's composition or containment, that flesh is meat upon that bleat-eyed beast does not exist, but exists, and might not, too, as not, and is, but a yearning for it. That was a bell, not a hollow horn, but no knittent. Bah, they am what the hell they am were and never to be. Anyway, arms flanged down, mired within this but finite mass, now well spent out into tight wire rubber rings. Just weak way, tin sprockets or wheels or just a set of circles put through hard and sharp edges grind round, turned by the force of being turned and mostly not in use at all, just stuck like a hacksaw, not able to even hack at the saw that will fall off the peg on the wall to land flat like, and all we could was sit. But this didn't help, and Bert and Ernie too could barely fiddle themselves worth it, while the loud raspberry noises pervades the ethereal dreck air, all of us. Like that Tito Eyes and Rectu YZ with their Pippi, we plupple plop K. So, but this has gone long. Anyway, this has gone wrong. Bert and Ernest, the two, Bert and Ernest, and all of teeny poople twigs. Then 20 just there, and what they'll ever be the vertebrate peers, they're divine at neddery. Never. Not ever. These not there woods not. These that them, it's them. Ye D now. Ye, you, the Y, S.
And that's it. Go to the person to your left and right and tell them the directions to their own house and that you'll be there, waiting.